Hi and welcome to Medsurvival Mnemonics. Today we will be discussing an essential topic in healthcare, isolation precautions in the hospital, and how to remember the organism using mnemonics. Let's get started. First, let's review the types of isolation precautions. These are divided in two main categories. The first one is standard precautions. These are applied to the care of every patient and include like proper hand hygiene, covering coughs and sneezes, and safe handling of equipment, including the sharp objects. The second category is transmission-based precautions. These are applied based on the specific modes of transmission of certain microorganisms. There are like three subcategories: airborne precautions, droplet precautions, and contact precautions. The mode of transmission through respiratory system depends on the size of respiratory particles. If the size of particle is greater than 5 microns, the transmission occurs via the droplets, usually within the 2 meters or 6 feet of the patient. That is called droplet spread. If the particle size is smaller, like 5 microns or smaller, the infection can spread via the airborne transmission and allowing it to travel further. Let's discuss about the airborne precautions. The airborne precautions that we need to take for the organisms include the N95 masks and negative pressure rooms in addition to the standard precautions. Our first mnemonic focuses on microorganisms that spread via airborne transmission. The mnemonic is the air can spread measles. Let's break it down. The is tuberculosis, air is airborne, can is COVID, spread for shingles, especially disseminated shingles involving multiple dermatomes, and M for measles. Next, we'll discuss the microorganisms transmitted via droplets. The precautions required to spread this kind of transmission is surgical masks. The mnemonic to remember these organisms is pin drop map. There are a lot of organisms to cover. Here's what it stands for. P for pneumonia, especially by the mycoplasma, H influenzae, adenovirus, and coronavirus. I for influenza A and B. N for Neisseria meningitis. D for diphtheria, especially the pharyngeal diphtheria. R for rubella and rhinovirus. P for pneumonic plague. M for mumps. A for group A streptococcal pharyngitis. It doesn't include the skin infections over here. P for pertussis. Finally, let's talk about the contact precautions. The precautions required are gloves and gown to prevent direct and indirect transmission. Here is the mnemonic: avoid direct contact with multiple viruses. There are so many groups of organisms that need contact precautions, so we will mostly focus on groups in this mnemonic. So from direct, you can remember the viral illnesses, especially from the norovirus, C. diff, E. coli, Shigella, and Salmonella. Contact for the cutaneous, especially infection like scabies, bed bugs, and impetigo also require contact precautions. From with, you can remember wide abscesses or large abscesses or decupitous ulcers, especially which are caused by Staph aureus or group A streptococci. From multiple, you can remember multi-drug resistant organisms, MDROs, like MRSA, VRE, ESBL, viruses like HSV, VZV, RSV, parainfluenza virus, enterovirus, rhinovirus, and COVID-19. And there you have it. So isolation precautions simplified with mnemonics to help you recall the key concepts easily. Like we discussed airborne precautions from the mnemonic, the air can spread measles, the droplet precautions from pin drop map, and contact precautions from avoid direct contact with multiple viruses. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Medsurvival Mnemonics. See you in the next video.